my God, no, Huzi, you can't say that.
Jess, I'm deliberately being myself.
You mean deliberately us. You're listening to Deliberately Us, the podcast, and your hosts are Huzi and Jesse.
Welcome to episode
Number two.
Number 2 of the podcast. You can probably see what the name is by now. We'll get into that, but first of all, Jess.
Hey.
Truce? Truce as to what happened?
I don't know if I'm ready to truce with you yet. I haven't heard an apology.
Do you want me to apologise? And you got nothing to apologise for?
No, you started it.
Nothing.
Look.
Nothing at all.
The day started off very interesting, but look, we don't need to air out our dirty laundry on the podcast, Huzi.
Okay, well, can we... Truce?
Truce.
Handshake? Very good. Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait till later. You're in big trouble, mister.
All right.
Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Welcome to the podcast. You can probably see what the name is by now. It is, in fact, not any of the names that we discussed in episode 1. It is called Big Time Honey.
If you're going to say it, can you say it right, though?
Okay, well, I'm just going to palm this off because Jessie completely came up with the name by herself. So
No, I did not. Okay, you got to say it. Big Time Honey. Okay, but let me just explain. So when we were brainstorming, is everything all good with the camera? You look concerned.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm just checking up.
When we were brainstorming names like ages ago, we were looking at like horse racing names because like for some reason whoever names those damn horses has a very creative mind. We're like, oh yeah, okay, like this is like a good place to search. And one of the horse names that we found were Big Time Maybe. And we thought, oh, that actually could work really well in so many ways. Like Big Time Maybe, like you could be big time, maybe, maybe not. And I just really like the name, like, anywho. But I didn't like how the word Big Time Maybe looked on like a logo. And like, also, I don't know, I just wasn't vibing it. So Huzi and I, like, we're not big on pet names. Like, if he called me Babe, I'd want to punch him in the face. Babe.
You have punched me in the face.
Oh, please. I did not. I snatched the keys out of your hand and you hit yourself. You can't call that a punch.
I hit myself, did I?
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the...
Okay, proceed. We'll come back to it.
And okay, so back to the pet names. I had obviously like heard some people call their partners like Hun and Honey, and I started saying like, oh, Honey, and like I just started as a joke, and now it's stuck. I can't stop calling Huzi Hun and Honey, and like I hate myself for it, but whatever. Like it's kind of cute, kind of not, whatever. But I always go Honey, so we've just got Big Time Honey, and if you change one letter from Honey to an M, Big Time Money, we're going to manifest some big time money, Huzi.
That's a goal, yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like the name. It looks really cute. Big Time Honey. Plus also like I just could not settle for eavesdropping. Like I'm sorry, but I am not going to be associated with the word ear. Like that is weird. That is gross. It's not happening. So anyways, we've got Big Time Honey. Welcome.
All right, well that's the name, guys. Yeah.
Should we just discuss the elephant in the room though? What have you come as?
What have I come as? Are you going to rob a bank?
I was waiting for it.
Are you going to rob a bank?
I'm literally the only person in Brisbane right now with a jumper on. But, like, I just love feeling cozy with the aircon cranking. And I just want it to be all cozy.
People watching on video, if you're not watching on video and you're just listening to the audio, Jessie's dressed in black tights, a black sweater of some kind.
It's from Pretty Little Things.
She looks like she's going to rob a bank. Like, who are you hiding from?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're wearing an old business shirt that has the wrong logo on it. Like, that's not even our logo anymore.
At least I'm representing the brand.
You haven't even ironed your shirt again. Bring yourself into the century.
Actually, yeah. One thing I did notice on last week's podcast was that my shorts were riding way up high. So I apologize for the disrespect that I gave you guys.
Exposing the people?
So I am going to continuously write it down.
You've also got your shoes on our nice clean white rug.
People on video, do you like the shoes? I thought it would kind of match the name, Big Time Honey. This is like it's yellow, but this is orange, but it's kind of close.
Huzi has this new obsession with shoe shopping. I thought I was
collecting.
I thought I had a shopping addiction, but I think you're creeping on in there. Like every week, he's always like, "Yes, I'm gonna go to the post office. It's 4:00. It's gonna shut at 5. I'm gonna go." I'm like, "What could you be picking up?" I didn't order anything. What could you be picking up? And it's always a new pair of these sneakers. Whilst they're very nice, they look lovely.
Thank you.
Some of them are very questionable,
Some
and I'm
of them
like,
I agree.
I'm not walking with you if you're ever going to wear them.
Yep. No.
He's collecting. They're increasing value.
Yes.
They're an asset.
They're an asset to me. It's just my little thing, you know. I don't have a thing. Everyone's got a thing.
You don't smoke. You don't drink.
Exactly.
You just buy shoes.
Just shoes. That's it.
Yeah. Anywho, that's really nice to know about you. But this week's topic, I thought we could talk about health.
We could talk about health. I also want to talk about. So this year we've changed a few things, haven't we?
Yeah.
Health is a big one. The second one is Jessie TikToks a lot now. If you guys haven't seen her page, she does a day in the life. She does.
You don't need to expose me like this.
Can I just say something?
Sorry, go.
Because you talk a lot of bullshit about me on that TikTok of yours. So let me talk some bullshit back at you.
All right,
Can I do that?
Here we go. Yep.
Whilst I'm very proud of her for her TikTok journey, and you know she talks a little bit about some of the health stuff that she's got going on, and it's really admirable. I really like it. I'm very proud of you, honey. But the thing I can't wrap my head around is when I am allowed to speak. So I'll give you an example. I'll walk into the house and she'll say something and I'll be like, "What was that, hun?" She'll be like, "Fuck me, Huzi. I was doing a voiceover. You just ruined it. Great."
You make me sound like a bitch.
You can retort later.
Okay.
And then when you say something and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, no, she was just doing a TikTok. Okay, I won't say anything." She'll be like, "Are you fucking deaf? Did you not even listen to me?"
I don't swear that much. Thank you.
Okay, but my question is, how do I know when I'm allowed to talk?
Maybe I should have like an on and off button, like a on air.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It would help a lot.
Is your life terrible?
No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. I just wanted to get that off my chest, and I wanted to know when I am allowed to speak. Because I really like the TikToks. I think it's great.
Well, you know what? We wouldn't have this issue. There we go with my Kath and Kim voice again. We wouldn't have this issue if I could have my little content room back. So we turned the middle room, because we have 3 bedrooms. We turned...
Ooh, we have 3 bedrooms, love, on the north side.
Anyways, now that you're done. We turned the middle room into a spare bedroom so that way when people stay with us, like they have somewhere to sleep, because we haven't had that. And like, that is just so cool. Like, we're grown up. We have a guest room. However, why is it okay for you to have an office? You have an office at home, and I get a guest bedroom. I want a room. I want an office. I want a content room. And, like, my point is that, oh, wow, this is so privileged. Like, I'm being dramatic here. But, like, we wouldn't have this issue if I could go into a room and close the door. Then you'd know that I'm definitely not talking to you. So either, this is our options. You either move your desk into the guest bedroom, or we share, but you got to clean up your office, because right now it looks like a bloody storage room.
You dump shit into my office, that's why.
And you dump stuff into my guest bedroom.
No, I don't.
Oh, what's the big mountain of clothes on the...
Is that just my clothing,
this podcast is just us having a fight today.
I know, we have a mountain of clothes, guys, on the north. Jess, no. Well, what do you want? You have that... I never go out into the main, like, lounge room area. That's pretty much all yours. This is the thing about Jessie. She needs to move spots every fucking 3 minutes. Like,
it's therapeutic.
You have a desk in the lounge room. You fucking have a desk in the office, but you want another desk in the office.
I don't have a desk in the office. What are you talking about?
I'm looking at it right now. Your water bottle's right on it, right next to Anna's desk.
Hun, your office is a boardroom. Let's not get started on that. Let's not get started on that. Oh. Anywho, if I had a content room, then maybe you'll know when I'm talking to you. But right now, I'm quite fine with just doing the TikToks in the lounge room, but just don't talk to me while I'm doing them.
Okay, very good.
Thanks.
What were we talking? We were talking about TikTok, but we've sorted that out. Okay, but we're going to give you a whole new room for it. How about that? Yeah.
It's fine. I'll stay in the lounge room. You can talk to me all the time.
Thanks, darling. Health kick this year has been good. So we've made a bit of a change. We got a bit comfortable over the last few years, and this year has been none of that. No comfort. just strict diet. Okay, not strict diet, but like we've been a lot better, and our whole friendship group has actually been on a bit of a health kick. So it's good because we have a ecosystem that everyone's on the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll start with yours. Go, and then I'll talk about mine.
Well, yes, as Huzi said, we got a little too comfortable there at one point. We'd egg each other on. Be like, oh, Huzi, do you want Macca's for dinner? And he'd be like, yeah, but I also kind of feel like pizza. And like we literally just egg each other on to have takeaway all the time. That mixed with like a really chaotic lifestyle where we just would not prioritize our health and like not cooking, not sleeping properly, just literally prioritizing work 24/7. We let some really bad habits with food and exercise like creep in, and then it was just really hard to break. I've literally always been like a little chubber. Like I've fluctuated with weight my whole entire life. But last year I was just like, you know what? I cannot keep doing this. I can't look at the mirror and literally tear myself to shreds every time I look at myself.
Was there one moment that you remember that was very distinctive where you were like, okay, enough is enough?
I think like probably more so we found a really good group of friends the past couple of years after moving to Brisbane, and that group of friends we'd always go out for dinner with. We'd always like go out for dinner, or we were always socializing, and we were always getting dressed up. Like we were going out, so yeah, time to like put in some effort and get dressed up.
Yeah, okay.
And it was just like every single time we were going, I'd have this battle in front of the mirror. Like I didn't have anything to wear. Nothing would fit me. My day-to-day like outfit was actually pretty similar to what I'm wearing right now, but it was like tights, oversized t-shirts, and I was hiding myself. So every time we'd go to these gatherings, it would just really make me more aware of how much my body had changed. I do recall putting on a pair of pants, looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, I know that these fit not too long ago, and I can't even get them past my ass. So stuff like that was happening all the time, and our group of friends is very health orientated anyways. And anyways, I found this girl on TikTok one day, and she was talking about these like a condition with her legs, and I've always had larger legs. I've always been smaller on top, larger legs, and I was bruised really easily as well. And she was talking about this condition called lipedema, and I think I said to you like, oh, this girl's talking about this condition and I think I've got it. Here I am like on Google self-diagnosing myself. Nah, I've got it. I'm the doctor.
But the symptoms were very compelling, weren't they?
Yeah. So I looked up a clinic and went through all the steps, and sure enough, I've got this lipedema condition, which means that it doesn't matter how much I'll try, I'll never naturally lose fat on my legs or certain parts of my arms. My legs are obviously my pain point because they've always just been larger. And it was from that moment that I was like, nah, I need to change because I saw photos of what my legs could look like in the future if I didn't change, and that was bloody terrifying. So yeah, that was probably like where it kickstarted for me. That was like I got diagnosed in July, and then it came to September. I was like, all right, time to do something.
You started doing something, and from September, tell them like how have you done? It's been really good, and you've been tracking it on TikTok, which I actually think's been good because it's been holding you accountable to
definitely.
A certain degree. Like people are responding, and you're responding back, and they want to. You tell her. Just go. Sorry.
So since September, I've lost 16 kilos. I actually don't know how many dress sizes I've dropped. Thanks, Huzi.
I'm proud.
I don't know how many dress sizes I've dropped because sizing is just retarded when it comes to online shopping and stores. Like, if you go on my TikTok, you'll see me trying on all these different sizes, and I can literally fit in a size 10 to a 16. So I don't know. But, yeah.
The amount of fucking clothes you have now that, like, needs to be tailored or, like, just doesn't fit. That's insane.
Yeah. But you're definitely right. Like, TikTok is keeping me accountable in such a really strange way. Like, I'm posting things that I'm eating every day. I am calorie counting. Whilst I don't want to do that forever, it is just, like, keeping me...
And I don't think it's for a forever thing. Calorie counting is, like, there's not a lot of long-term studies on counting calories is because people don't do them for long times. But it's good to know where you're going wrong, because since we've been doing it, we've realized how easy it is to overeat.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, we had pizza the other night, and whilst I was still calorie counting and could fit it into my macros, we were like so shocked, like, oh, this whole pizza is like pretty much my daily intake.
The whole, no, it is the whole daily intake.
Yeah.
It was like for me, it was 2,200 calories for one whole pizza. That would just be dinner for me normally.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like sometimes you're just not aware, and it's like the snacking that you have throughout the day, you're just not aware of how much you're actually consuming, and everything is a calorie. One sip of like a soda, that's a calorie. Like everything adds up. And whilst we don't want to be like restricting ourselves, the calorie counting has definitely helped with overcoming some like mental challenges and like relationships with food. With the lipedema, one of the biggest like conservative management like recommendations that they have is for you to go on an anti-inflammatory diet, because lipedema is inflammation on your legs and arms, and you want to do anything that you can to bring down that inflammation. Yep. And if you have seen an anti-inflammatory diet, it's back to basics. It's like a great diet. Like, we should all be eating healthy, but it's salads, it's vegetables, fruits, it's some meats, like no red meats, it's just white meat, some fish. It's very, very basic. And for someone that's literally addicted to sugar, I could literally sit there and eat a whole bag of Maltesers to myself every single night. I relied so heavily on food to comfort me, to make me feel better, to ease the stress that I had been feeling and being overwhelmed with work. I would turn to food. So someone who's addicted to sugar, addicted to junk food, has a really poor lifestyle. Going on an anti-inflammatory diet did not work, and then I'd beat myself up over it. I actually remember one night, I think maybe you were in the kitchen like cooking dinner or something, but I was on the lounge and I was like, I started to get upset. I was like, the world hates me. Like,
why can't I remember that?
Well, it's probably more distinctive for me, but I just remember going like, this fucking sucks. I feel like I'm being punished. I feel like I'm not allowed to enjoy anything that I want because, we've lost a light.
Proceed. I'll just plug it in.
Yeah, so I just felt like everyone else around me can eat what they want, and I'm going to have to sit there and eat carrot sticks. So I felt just, I don't know, poor me, had a little pity party for myself. But I think the reality of it was the fact that I had been dieting my whole life, and I'm just fucking over it. I'm over worrying about it 24/7. So calorie counting really helped, because I could still have the Maltesers. I could still have some pizza if I wanted it, but I just had to be mindful of portions.
And to that point, like, you found a way to gamify. Like, we both said it. Like, it's kind of like you're gamifying it because you're playing against these numbers, and we have an app that we track it on, and it says you have this many calories remaining, and it's so fun. Like, at the end of the day, where you're like, oh, I have like another. I can get something like cheeky if I want.
Yeah.
If I want.
Yeah.
It's not saying that we always like capitalize on that, but it is cool to just see the numbers fluctuate throughout the day and see how you're tracking compared to yesterday. Because like sometimes I'll see like at lunchtime I'm doing way better, and I'm like, oh, that, and then that motivates you more. You're like, I'm doing so much better than yesterday. Like at 12 o'clock, I'm hitting my proteins, my calories are slightly more down or whatever it is. And yeah, you can just, I feel like it's just motivating.
Yeah.
Also.
It's definitely helped for sure. I really like the aspect of not restricting.
Exactly.
Just welcoming all sorts of food, working on healthier habits whilst you're still trying to get over eating, like binge eating 24/7. So
and we'll just be super honest about it. Like, you're hitting 1,500, right? Like, you're not hiding it from anyone or anything like that. You're hitting 1,500 calories or something like that. And you can see when we actually cook at home.
Oh yeah.
How much food 1,500 calories is. Like, you feel very full on it, but as soon as we eat out, like even just one night, it's fucked. It's blown out so quickly.
Yeah.
Like nearly instantly, and you're hungry when we're about to go to sleep or something like that.
Sometimes when we're like eating at home and I'm trying to hit 1,500 calories, I'm like, I feel like I've done nothing but eat the whole day. Like I've literally just been shoving my face with food the whole day. Whereas if I were to have like a heat up meal or something, I've got 2 meals. a couple of eggs for breakfast, and that's me done. I'm like, well, like that's when I start to feel like, oh, this sucks. But the days that we're cooking at home and everything, anywho, it's been a great positive move for us. So
it's been the best move we've done this year for sure.
Yeah,
health comes first. And I'm very proud of you. Like, you smashed it.
Thank you. I jumped on the lifestyle change around September. And Huzi was Huzi's always been really gym focused and athletic, but
definitely got a bit. You actually, Jesse, what did you say once? You're like, far out, you're getting. I remember you walked in the house and you were like, oh, getting a bit fat, aren't you?
I did not say that.
You were like, look at the ripple. No, I'm joking.
I would never use that word. But I would never call anyone that.
You did once. We're walking down the whole hallway, and I remember this because you were like, no, you're looking a bit stocky.
Okay, I did say that.
You said stocky.
Stocky and fat are two different things. Stocky's like
definition of stocky. Did I look staunch? Did I?
You look staunch. Okay, when I met you, you were very, very thin. Very thin. You were boxing. Shredded. You were playing tennis. You were going to the gym. You were literally...
Which I'm going to get back into all those.
You were so focused on your fitness. You were very, very thin. And, like, you've gone from thin to stocky. And, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I love a bit of stock. I love the beef. I love it.
Bit of chunk, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I kind of... wasn't like tracking calories, but I'd still stay active. Like I'd train and all of that stuff. But training was very inconsistent, super inconsistent. And then this year, I think it was from December when I was like, nah, I'm doing it. I want to get back into the sports that I was into. I want to get back into boxing. I want to get back into jiu-jitsu.
Have you gone to boxing yet?
No, it kind of. Like I've started sparring and stuff.
Huzi's been wanting to join jiu-jitsu again for like 3 years.
Yeah, so that's the next one. But what was I going to say? When the brain switch happened and I had that conviction within myself, started tracking my calories, started doing all those things, and the brain, like how ridiculous is it that it just switched straight back over to how I used to be, and I just went mad on it, like just started training like 2-a-days and stuff, and there was one day I remember, it was probably like a couple of weeks ago, I went and trained legs in the morning. Then I had a boxing session. And after my boxing session, I got home and I was like to Jess, I think I'm going to go for a run. And you said to me, you were like, don't do it. Like
you're being ridiculous.
You're being ridiculous. You're going over the top. And I was like, no, you're
Honey, you're getting older.
No, I said, you're an athlete. You should expect this from me. Right?
Yeah.
So then I went for my run and I was fine for the most part. And then on the run back home, I just... cramping a little bit. Okay, that's all right. I'll shake it off. You know, I'm young and nimble. I'll shake it off. And it just wouldn't go away. And every step I took, the cramp would just come to the point where I just had to crawl to a park bench, sat there, and I called you. And I was like, hey, you know how you said I shouldn't have gone for a run? I think you're right.
So the moral of the story is to listen. I am always right.
It's just like, maybe just don't go full spastic. Like I did.
But either way, it's been really helpful to have you like on the bandwagon. I hate the word bandwagon, but it's been really helpful for you and I to like have a similar like routine, and we're both counting things. We're bonding over it, really.
We're bonding over it, but because like I'll cook the proteins, you'll do the salads, right?
Yeah.
That's a form of bonding. But also
you'll cook the pancakes, you'll cook the
healthy
eggs.
Protein pancakes. But I also like think with all the stuff that we're doing on socials this year with TikTok, podcasting, it just adds more accountability. I feel the need to keep showing up, like to the gym and, you know, stay healthy because I want to put it out there. Like I feel, I cannot explain how much fucking better I feel in the last 3 months than I did in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And you can probably agree with that, right?
I don't know. You're always on one. You've always got this. You've got too much energy for me.
No, but I feel way better. Brain feels clearer. I can work better. Like my work life is way better. I'm more productive. And I just feel better, like as a human, just walking around, being able to do shit.
Did you feel like when you got to the point, like, okay, no, I need to like really change? Was there? So for me, you know that I've always had these crazy insecurities. I always struggle with body image. Did you struggle with body image because your body actually changed from what it was when I first knew you, or you were never really bothered?
No, it didn't really bother me. I honestly, which is, like, I'm not saying it in a cocky way or anything like that, but I just didn't give a fuck. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was always fine with that. But what did bother me was just knowing how suboptimal I was.
Yeah.
Like, I would do a training. Like I was saying, you asked me, what did you just ask me? Did I ever have like a point of where I was like, fuck this? I didn't feel anything with my body. It was just how suboptimal I was.
Did you feel unhealthy? Like, did you feel like in yourself, like, oh, things aren't functioning the way that it should be?
100%. And that was probably more the turning point. It was the internal stuff where I was like, I would do a workout that would normally be my warm-up, and I would be just gassed, just, done, and I'd be sore the next day, and I'd be like, fucking hell, like...
you just weren't recovering the way that you used to.
Yeah, and my brain would just automatically talk to itself saying, you a bitch. Like, what are you doing? Let's get back into it.
There's a little backstory here with Huzi too. So I'm sure he's going to like roll his eyes for me telling you guys this. But when I first met him, he was a semi-pro tennis player. He was literally, before I met him, on his way to be a professional tennis player. He'd go to tournaments, get paid for it. He'd have to train all day long. Yeah. He had this different lifestyle where it was devoted to fitness. It was devoted to succeeding as an athlete. As an athlete, yeah. So you've gone from that to sitting at a desk,
exactly,
and filming. Your lifestyle literally did a 360. So you actually have to put in the work now. Like, whilst it was so natural for you to be in fitness, whereas now you actively have to prioritize going to the gym.
Well, also, going for a run. When I was training for all those things, it didn't feel like training because you're showing up to like for performance and like
it was your job.
It was work. It was work, and we've gone and played tennis so many like a few times, hitting gigs and stuff. Yeah, we know we're working out, but how fun is it? Like, you're always
bit of hit and giggle.
Yeah, you're not thinking about the exercise part. You're thinking about like the technique, the work, and like how am I winning? And
you know what I'm focusing on? I'm just trying to hit the damn ball.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're focused on that, and you're not worried about this movement that you're doing. So I think that was different, and that's why when I got back into it, like I started 2 a days and then did that one ridiculous 3 a day, and I was like, what for? Like, I'm not training for anything. Like, maybe I should just chill the fuck out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. Can we move back to you? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit more about lipedema.
Sure thing.
Is that all right?
Yes.
So, what you said about like how the anti-inflammatory diet is one of the steps, and your counting your calories, and your I think one of the steps the doctor said to you was, first you go and actually just lose as much weight naturally as you can, right? Remember you saying that?
No. So when I got diagnosed, he said, so one of the things to get rid of lipedema, to attempt to get rid of lipedema, is to actually have liposuction and remove the lipedema fat, because this type of fat doesn't
come back?
I think so.
So okay. You go on a healthy diet, right? You lose as much fat as you naturally can.
No. So the way to get rid of the lipedema is to have it surgically removed. Mm-hmm. From there, you need to manage it. You need to manage it with this program called conservative management, and that's where the anti-inflammatory diet comes in. Mm-hmm. And you try and avoid bringing it back, right? Yep. But the only way to actually get rid of it is, like, to get rid of it fully is by surgery. You can try and manage it. So what I did, because the doctor said to me, if you do want to go down the path of surgery, you're looking at 4 surgeries, because I was stage 2. He's like, by the look of your legs and your arms, at this point in your life right now, at the size you are, the weight you are, you're looking at 4 surgeries. 4 surgeries, that's $15,000 per surgery. Per surgery. However,
say that one more time.
$15,000 per surgery. And I nearly fell off my
so 60. We're looking at 60.
So, because I was overweight at the time, like there was no denying. I absolutely had a lot of weight to lose, just all over as a person. Okay. I was like, fuck, okay, 15 grand per surgery. Like, look, I don't know if we have that deep of a pocket, like, to spend on my legs. However, I thought, okay, if I can try and bring that down myself, then why not? So that's where I was like, okay, I'm going to try and lose as much weight. However, also with that, you can't just go casually have this surgery. You have to go through all of these steps prior as well. So you have to go on 3 months of this, like, hard out conservative management where you have to wear these crazy compression stockings. They're like $900 for the compression stockings because they're like fitted for you specifically. You have to wear
that doesn't change, right? Like, you just have that one pair.
Yeah. So you have to wear those for 3 months straight. You have to be on an anti-inflammatory diet to soften the fat. So that way.
How long for?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Just hard out because they want to do the surgery. It needs to be soft.
Okay.
You need to go have lymphatic drainage massages. I think that's like once or twice a week. But before that, you have to.
What is that?
I actually don't know, but I believe it's kind of similar to like how people would do dry brushing. They try and like.
Oh, yeah.
It's some
just
sort of
improve
massage.
Circulation, I guess.
Again,
right.
It's just to try and like make that fat softer.
Okay.
But to even be eligible for surgery, you need to go have all these other tests done first. So you need to have a bubble test and
a what?
A bubble test.
Elaborate.
A bubble test is like some sort of scan that they do to see if you've had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
And then they also have to test to see if you have a hole in your heart. Because if you do have a hole in your heart, you cannot have this liposuction surgery. So you have to have the hole in the heart fixed first.
Do you, is there any symptoms that you would be noticing right now if you had that hole in your heart or something like that?
I'm not actually too sure.
It's not correlated with lipedema itself. It's just something external that they just check vet for.
I think it's just a surgery thing. Like, as in, like, you cannot have some sort of liposuction if you have a hole in your heart.
Makes sense.
So if you do, the surgery for that's $20,000.
Can I just get my calculator up, please? Hold on, wait. Hold on. What were those compression socks? I'm not okay. I just want to say as well, if all of this is going to make you so much more confident with yourself, happy on a daily basis, you're going to be in a way better mood. It doesn't matter. Like, we would get it done for sure. We would find a way and we would do it.
Yeah.
And I want to do that, like 100%. That's the goal. But I think it's really important. What you're doing right now, building those healthy habits, is so good because once you get it done, it's not going to feel like I have to be on this diet or something like that. You're just going to take over.
But also, like, what would be the point of me having this surgery if my habits hadn't changed?
Exactly.
I'm just going to gain the weight again. I'm just going to put it straight back on.
So how much was that last thing that you just said?
20 grand for the heart surgery.
The heart surgery? Wait, what?
Hole in your heart.
What?
$20,000. If you have a hole in your heart.
Oh, if you have it.
If you do, it's $20,000.
But if you don't, then.
If you don't, no. And then the liposuction, mine was 15 per surgery. I'm not actually too sure how much the bubble scan is. You have to pay for that yourself. And
of course.
The compression stocking is $900. Also, none of this is covered with Medicare.
I was just going to, not Medicare, I wouldn't expect that too.
Or private health.
But private health, nothing.
No. Lipedema is quite a new discovery.
Is there any, did the doctor give you any statistics as to how many women or men are affected by it or anything like that?
Maybe I should have gone back through my notes before this.
But he did say that?
He did. It's very, very common in women. It actually occurs from a hormonal change. Mostly it occurs from a hormonal change.
Something you're born with?
Yes. So it's genetic as well.
Okay.
So hereditary. Like it will run in the family.
So I don't know if you wanted to say this, but does your mum, I obviously know the answer, but just for the people listening and watching, did your mum and dad have big legs? And was that something that you noticed within them as well?
Well, given that it's a disease and it's predominantly in women, I truly believe that this has come from my dad's side because my dad was a very fit person, always had these large legs, even though he still was very fit. But his grandmother, if I were to see photos of her, that is like a stage 4 photo. And I'm like, she ended up having to walk in one of those walking things.
Shit.
So one of the things with lipedema too is because your legs get so inflamed, they keep growing. It's also painful for some women, like extreme pain of aching, kind of feels like arthritis.
Yeah.
People become immobile as well.
Well, you have knee problems right now,
Yeah.
don't you?
I get knee aches, and also if I've been on my feet the whole entire day and I'm lying in bed, I'm like, oh my God, I want to chop my legs off. Like they're aching. But I don't feel the severe pain that some women feel. I do bruise like a peach. Like the bruising is out of control.
Dead set I can like sneeze around you and you'll bruise.
Yeah, it's
insane.
Next level. I remember Dad, I was out the front playing tennis ball or whatever it is with one of my cousins, and he came out because I was wearing shorts, and I was quite young. I was probably like 12 or 13, and he was like, what have you done? Well, look at your legs. What have you done? And I was just covered in them.
100%. Sometimes you'll walk out of the bedroom or something with shorts on, and I'll be like, all right, Jess, who the fuck done it? Tell me, where are they?
Yeah.
Whose leg kicked you all around the football park?
Yeah, and those bruises can be really painful too because they're so deep. But yeah, anyways, my grandmother, if I could... she's not here obviously, but if I could diagnose her with it, I'd say that she's got it. My mum's like a curvy woman, but she didn't have these legs like me. My sisters and brothers, they don't really have it. Brother. So that's why I think maybe it's come more from my dad's side.
Okay. And so that's the process, right? So we're looking at about 90 bands here, 90 grand. For that procedure to happen. So you said something about management afterwards, right?
Management before it and afterwards.
So say you're on a clean diet. Is there still a chance for it to, for your legs to essentially, it's like fat, right?
Yeah, so.
To develop that fat tissue?
Maybe we could like drop a photo here somewhere for those that are actually watching. But essentially it's just fat covering your legs all over, from the top of my hips all the way down to my ankles. Some women get these extreme cuffing on their ankles.
And this fat isn't caused like how, okay, I'm trying to like tread lightly, but I'm just going to say it. If you eat a lot of shit and you're inactive, you get fat, right?
Yeah.
You get fat tissues, but that's not what this is. You're saying that someone can be like perfectly healthy and they'll just start developing this fat.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've been at the most skinniest of weights for me, and I've always had these large legs. There's always been like pockets of fat that sit on my legs. My knees especially is my pain point, where I've just got this fat that sits on my knees, and it doesn't matter how much I've tried, it'll always be there. My legs from my bottom to my ankles are covered in cellulite. The doctor actually calls them dimples and fat nodules. He says it's different as cellulite. I'm going to believe him for that. But to me, it just looks like extreme cellulite. And you know what? I've been bullied about my legs my whole entire life. And I thought, maybe I'm just unlucky. Like, I don't have any friends that have legs that look like mine. And I actually look back at photos of myself from even when I was about 5 or 6, and you can see that my legs have these fat pockets still sitting on them. So I'm pretty convinced that I've had this my whole entire life, and I was just, I don't know, chubby. But it doesn't matter. I've been at my healthiest. I've been at my most overweight with terrible lifestyle choices, and these legs haven't changed. And that's what lipedema is. It doesn't matter how much you fluctuate. They stay the same, or you'll never fully lose it. So
unless you get the surgery.
Unless you get the surgery, yes.
With the surgery, is it like complete removal, or is it like what I'm trying to say is it going to look? I don't know how to say this. What I'm trying to say is your leg going to look like what a normal person's leg would look like?
That's okay.
To that point.
Yeah.
Or is it still going to be like noticeable that you've had lipedema or something like that?
I'm actually not too sure. I think the main point is to reduce the size and the inflammation of it. I have seen, sorry, I'm stuttering now. I have seen some before and afters of other women that have had the surgeries, and like 1 or 2 surgeries in, you can't really tell that much of a difference. But women that have had more surgeries, I think their legs do start to look normal. You can start seeing their knees. Like, you can see their knees. They no longer have like this layer of fat hanging around their ankles and along their legs. Like, they do start to come back looking like normal legs. I'm doing quotation marks here. I think every case is going to be different though. Like I don't know. Will I ever have normal looking legs? I have no idea.
And also like, we want to tread like we're not saying normal in the sense that there is a normal type of leg or anything like that, and we're not saying anything's even wrong with your legs. Like I personally don't have a problem at all, and I don't think if someone feels like they have legs and they don't have a problem with it, then it's fine, it's all good. But the fact that there are like some mobility issues and things that can affect you later on down the line, that's why you're so into attacking it. Yes, of course you want your legs to look something that you're happy with, so you can wear shorts that helps with mental health and all kinds of things with you,
I think there's a few layers to this journey. One is definitely the mental side, the challenges that I've faced having these larger legs and obviously being bullied for it my whole life. Like if I'm wearing shorts, I can guarantee you someone's making a comment or someone's looking at me up and down. Like that's definitely a pain point. So there's the mental side of it. It's the fact that I don't want to be immobile. I don't want to have these legs where I just can't walk. And I am also very grateful to be able to walk at the same time. Like,
100%. Yeah.
My dad, as himself, someone healthy, fit, ended up in a wheelchair. And like, I can't imagine the struggles that people have not having legs just to get up and walk to the bathroom or get a drink of water. So I don't want to take these legs for granted. If I have the choice now to do something, then why not?
Exactly, because there's a million people out there, maybe even a billion, that would love to be in your position. And for anyone listening, like you can go on Jessie's TikTok and she's got videos and stuff like that explaining a little bit more about lipedema and all of that stuff. It might help you. You might not know, and it might be something that, like, how much was the initial consultation, just so people know what they're roughly looking at if they even want to be diagnosed? Do you remember?
I think it was around $400.
$400, right? So she went and got diagnosed with it, but that day that you got diagnosed, it was like a weight was lifted off your shoulder, was it not? Like, I remember you... am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to be sensitive towards all this stuff. You cried. But it wasn't a cry of like you're sad. Oh my God, I've been diagnosed with this horrible thing. Well, you know that I know no matter how much training I do, how much dieting I do, I'm always going to have these legs unless I spend this crazy amount of money. It was more happy tears because you were like, I finally have some closure. Like I know what this is.
I think it just, for me, it validated that I wasn't just lazy and unhealthy because... Again, it doesn't matter how much I've tried, they've always stayed the same. So it was closure for a few things. I wasn't happy that I had it, but I was also happy to know that I am not wrong. I'm not, anyone that's bullied me or made comments, they're wrong for making comments about someone else's body when you can't change it. It validated that some of my insecurities that I face weren't just in my head. The fact that I've bruised my whole entire life, had these larger legs, my body's not being proportionate, it gave me an answer. And like, it just made me realize that there's actually nothing really wrong with me. Yeah. Whilst there is.
Yeah, no.
I just mean like.
It's not in your head.
It's not in my head. I am still normal. Like this condition it affects a lot of women. Yeah. It made me just realize that, okay, I can accept it. I can accept it now and I can stop hiding it.
Exactly.
And for some reason, it was like a bit of a light bulb. It went off. For some reason, when I got diagnosed with lipedema, any comment or like little voice in my head that says, don't wear the shorts or don't get your legs out or like you're stuck with these legs, kind of went out the window and I started wearing shorts again. Yeah, I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I've got this condition. I can't help it. Exactly. I'm just going to wear the shorts.
Yeah, and I think it's helped so much with, like, you're not, like, you used to be subconscious about going to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like
subconscious? Self-conscious?
Self-conscious? What is subconscious?
Subconscious.
Yeah, okay.
Self-conscious.
You're self-conscious about going to the gym because you're afraid of like what people would think, they'd be looking at you. But even that has done a complete change.
Yeah.
Now you go to the gym and I would always need to be like kind of near you at the gym.
Yeah.
Now you do your own fucking thing. You don't need me to eat. I just come and spot you and that's it.
Yeah. I think, yeah, for sure. I would get really overwhelmed going to the gym and really upset. And if I didn't have you literally like monitoring me 24/7, telling me what to do next and like kind of covering me, like it would be game over. There has been such a big mental shift this past year. And I think it's not just because of the lipedema. It's that our whole lifestyle's changed.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie and say I'm the most confident person in the world because I've lost 16 kilos, but I've definitely improved. I'm not scared to show my legs anymore. I'm not as scared to go to the gym. I'm literally just going in and trying to better my life.
Yeah, and you've like, sorry, my belly, as we were saying that, my belly just, if you want to see the video version of that, that's hilarious. My belly just flopped out. What's all that about? I thought I was making some progress as well.
You are, honey.
Yeah, I've slimmed out, isn't it?
Yes, you have.
But no, I think this year has started off damn near perfect in terms of health-wise.
Yeah. I'm really proud of both of us.
Yeah, I think we're both like narrowed in on it and just this year we've been like, you know what, let's just do it. Like we always talk about it. We're still in our 20s. We don't want to, like some of our friends, they're in their 30s and they look fucking amazing, right? Yeah. They look like they're in their early 20s.
Yeah.
I want to be like that when I'm 30.
Yeah.
I don't want to be 30 and like looking like I'm 40 or 50.
Yeah, me too.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but for myself and my confidence, I want to look young. I want to be healthy. I want to be mobile. If our friends say, hey.
Speaking of looking young.
Who looks young? I don't.
So when I kind of, started this health kick, we got some of these Bluetooth bio scans.
They are not accurate.
They're good to measure against yourself.
Yes, exactly. Against itself, it's a good measure. My
bio scan spits out that my metabolic age is 30, 35, 34. And I was like, are you fucking serious?
That scale nearly went in the bin as quick as it came in. I'm telling you that much. I was
27 at the time when I bought them. 34, 35, no. Like nothing wrong with being that age. But I was like, no, fuck this. I want to be my age. So the whole feeling younger, absolutely. Because it's come down now. We're sitting at 30.
That's good. Good improvement. That's 5 years off.
Yeah.
No, I think this was a good chat. I think we spoke about our health journey, the way that we've shifted this year. But we are running into that hour mark. Jeez, these go too quick.
Yeah, they really
Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
I was talking to my cousin about this, and he's been nagging us for a while. Like, start your podcast. Like, just start doing it. This is about 3 years ago he told us to do this. And he came over the weekend from Melbourne, and we told him, like, we did an hour an episode. Like, the first one was an hour, and the second one, you know, we were hoping to hit an hour again. And he was really impressed that we had an hour worth of conversation.
That's what I'm telling you. This is your dog park. I'm letting you run around and get it all out.
It's so sad that it's coming to an end. Hold on. Can I just see what notes I had? I wanted to talk so much shit to you today.
Oh.
I had to get it out, you know. I was feeling it. I was like, I want to talk so much shit.
You can save it for the next episode.
We'll save it for the next episode. We're like an hour in already. So, honey, I'm proud of you. Your journey has been remarkable. It's been great. Since I've known you, since we've been together 6 years, I've never seen you actually this positive, this happy, and this confident with yourself. Even though when I first met you, you were you like lighter?
Yes.
Did you weigh less?
I was smaller, yes.
Were you smaller? You were smaller, but your confidence wasn't even nearly what it is right now. And I think that's because you had this image of yourself even back then, because you didn't know about lipedema, you didn't know about any of that shit, and you were like, I'm like, you know,
there's something
wrong with me. I'm not in the shape that I want to be. I'm doing all this training and nothing is helping my legs. But fast forward 6 years, you may weigh more or something like that, or your body may not look how it used to, but you are able to now like turn the page and you're like dropping all this weight. Yeah. You're training, you're eating right. We're about to go to the gym right now.
And you know, I think this is a good conversation to have. And this is like half the reason why I'm posting on TikTok so much is because I wish I knew sooner I've wasted so much of my life being insecure about something that I just can't change. So I just think it's really important to open a conversation about this, and even other things regarding health and fitness and body positivity. God, tongue twisted. I just want to keep having the conversation because I know that it's going to help other people feel better. I know it's going to help them accept things about them that they can't change. So I'm really glad that we had this conversation. And yeah, if you do need a little pick me up, the TikTok's available. Yeah,
if anybody listening feels like they need a little bit more elaboration on this topic and you guys have some specific questions, go over to Jesse's Instagram. Or are you posting stuff on there? About it or TikTok, whatever it is, or just send her a DM, whatever. You'll get back to people as much as you can, because there was a lot of comments on the first video that you made about it, and you got back to nearly everyone, or you made a video about it, right? Okay, very good.
Well,
guys, that's episode 2 done. We'll see you on the next one, right?
Thanks for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, for the people that made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.